Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you're a regular listener, we are so glad you came back.
Hey there. Great to see you all again. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're talking about something that every English learner needs, the most common words you'll hear and use every single day.
That's right. Sometimes I think about when I was learning a new language, and I just wanted to know, what are the words I really need to know first? Which ones will I hear the most? And that's exactly what we're going to answer today.
Yes. And today's topic is the 10 most common English words for daily life. We're talking about words like get, go, make, know, think, and more. Words you hear in shops, at work, with friends, everywhere.
By the end of this episode, you'll understand what these words mean, how to use them correctly, and you'll feel much more confident when you speak or listen to English. We're going to give you real examples, not textbook sentences.
And here's a fun question for you. Which English word do you hear most often in your daily life? Write it in the comments below. We'd love to read your answers.
I love that question. And if you're enjoying Simple English Talks, please hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss an episode. We put out new content every week to help you grow your English.
All right, let's not waste another second. Let's jump right in and talk about the first group of super common English words.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation, the absolute most common words in the English language. These words appear in almost every conversation, every text message, every email. If you learn these 5 words really well, your English will improve a lot. The first word is get. The structure is simple, subject plus get plus noun or adjective. For example, I get coffee every morning. She gets tired after work. We get the bus at 8.
I love the word get because it does so much work. Here are some examples. I get nervous before meetings. Can you get the door, please? He gets angry sometimes. Did you get my message? I didn't get what she said.
Exactly. And I use get every single day. When I wake up, I get up. When I'm hungry, I get food. When I'm confused, I don't get it. It's everywhere. So listen for get today in any English video you watch. You'll hear it constantly.
The second super common word is go. This one seems simple, right? But it's in so many expressions. Go home, go to sleep, go for a walk. Let's go. How is it going? It's going well.
Right. And don't forget, go also means to happen. Like, how did the meeting go? It went really well. Or, how did your test go? That's a really natural use that learners sometimes miss.
Can you think of 3 ways you use go in your daily life? Pause for a moment and think about it. Maybe you go to school, you go to the gym, or you go online. Write one sentence with go in the comments.
The third word is make. The basic structure is subject plus make plus noun. I make breakfast. She makes plans. They make mistakes. And the negative is easy too. I don't make my bed every day. Sorry, I really don't.
Ha! Honest answer. So, make can mean to create something, but also to cause something. For example, this music makes me happy. The news made him sad. Does that make sense? That last one, does that make sense, is so common in conversation.
Perfect. So our first 3 words are get, go, and make. Quick summary. Get is for receiving, getting somewhere, or understanding. Go is for movement and events. Make is for creating and causing. Got it?
Great work so far. Those 3 words alone will open up hundreds of new sentences for you. Keep going. We've got more.
Now let's build on what we just learned and move to our next group of super common words. These are a little more thinking related. They're about what's happening in your mind and your daily needs.
Word number 4 is know. This is about information and understanding. I know his name. Do you know where the station is? I don't know the answer. She knows a lot about cooking.
And here's something interesting about know. We don't usually use it in the continuous form, so we say, I know, not I am knowing. That's a really common mistake. In English, know describes a state, so we use simple present. I know you know she knows.
Right. Compare. I know how to drive. Correct. I am knowing how to drive. Wrong. The same is true for the next word, think. But think is a little different because sometimes you can use the continuous form.
Exactly. Think has two meanings. One is to have an opinion. I think it's a good idea. I think you're right. The other is the action of thinking right now. I'm thinking about the problem. What are you thinking about?
So if someone asks, "What do you think?" they want your opinion, but if they ask, "What are you thinking about?" they want to know what's in your mind right now. It's a small difference, but very important for natural speech.
Let me give you a quick practice. I'll say a situation and you choose. Use think or know. Ready? Situation 1. Someone asks your opinion about a movie. You say, it's great. What's the word? Think. I think it's great.
Situation 2, someone asks if you have the address of a restaurant. You say, the address. The word is no. I know the address. Great. Write your own sentence with think or know in the comments. We really do read them.
Word number 6 is need. The structure is subject plus need plus noun or to plus verb. I need water. She needs more time. We need to talk. They don't need help.
Need is one of those words that's both formal and informal depending on how you use it. In a polite situation, you might say, "I'm afraid I need a little more time." In a casual situation, "I need a coffee like right now." Same word, very different feel.
And word number 7 is want. Very similar to need, but different in meaning. Need is necessary. Want is a desire, something you'd like. I need to sleep. I have to. I want ice cream. I'd love some, but I don't have to have it.
First tip, use need when something is necessary. Second tip, use want when it's a desire or wish. Third tip, in polite or formal situations, replace want with would like. Instead of "I want coffee," say "I would like a coffee, please." Much more polite.
Great tip! Try writing a sentence using need and another using want in the comments. Let's see your examples.
So words 4 through 7 are know, think, need, and want. These are the words of your mind and your heart. You'll use them every single day, in every conversation.
We're getting close to the finish line. Let's cover our final 3 super common words. These ones are all about actions in your everyday life, things you do constantly.
Word number 8 is see. Now, see seems obvious. It's about using your eyes. I see the mountains. Can you see the board? But see is also used to mean understand. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. And see is used in so many social expressions too. See you later. See you tomorrow. I'll see what I can do. That means I'll try. Let's see. That means wait a moment. I'm thinking. It's incredibly flexible.
A tip for sounding natural. When someone explains something and you understand, don't just say yes. Try saying, "Oh, I see," or "I see, I see." It sounds much more natural and engaged than just yes, yes, yes.
Word number 9 is come. Movement again, but towards the speaker this time. Come here. She's coming to the party. Are you coming with us? Can you come to my office, please? Come in. You say this when someone knocks on your door.
Compare go and come. Go is moving away from where you are. Come is moving towards where you or the listener is. I go to the gym in the morning, come to my house for dinner. He went home, she came home. The direction changes everything.
Let me try a mini practice. I'll give a situation and you pick go or come. Situation. Your friend is at your house and you want them to follow you. You say, come or go with me. The answer is come. Come with me, because you're going together, moving towards something together.
Excellent. And the final word, number 10, is give. This is about transferring something to someone. Give me a minute. She gave him a gift. Can you give me your number? I'll give you a call. Don't give up.
Give is also great in expressions. Give it a try it. Give me a break. I need a rest. Or sometimes it means I don't believe you. Give it time. Be patient. These little phrases make you sound really natural.
Can you use see, come, or give in a sentence right now? Say it out loud. Don't be shy. Speaking out loud is the best practice. Then write it in the comments. We want to read your sentences.
So our final three are see, come, and give. See is for vision, understanding, and social phrases. Come is movement towards. Give is about transferring things or ideas to others.
Amazing work. We've now covered all 10 words. Let's do a quick review before the next section. Get, go, make, know, think, need, want, see, come, give. These 10 words are the foundation of daily English conversation.
Okay, confession time. When I was learning English, I made so many mistakes with these basic words. And honestly, that's completely normal. Let's look at the most common mistakes learners make so you can avoid them.
Mistake number 1 is with make and do. Many learners use make for everything. But in English, we don't make homework, we do homework. We don't make exercise, we do exercise. We don't make a decision every time. Sometimes we make a decision, yes, but we do a job, not make a job.
The general rule is make is usually for creating something new. Make food, make a plan, make a mistake. Do is usually for tasks and activities. Do homework, do the dishes, do your best. It's not always logical, so the best thing to do is learn them as fixed phrases.
Mistake number 2 is confusing go and come. Learners sometimes say, "Can you go to my office?" when they should say, "Can you come to my office?" Remember, come moves towards the speaker's location. If you're in the office, you say, "Come to my office."
This one is a classic. I remember saying go to my birthday party, but my friend was already at home with me and I meant come with me to the party. We both started laughing. Mistakes like this are actually a great way to remember the rule.
Mistake number 3 is using know in the continuous form, saying I am knowing the answer. That sounds very unnatural to native speakers. Use simple present. I know the answer. Same with want. I am wanting coffee. No, say I want a coffee.
These verbs are called stative verbs. They describe states, not actions. Other stative verbs include love, hate, believe, understand. We generally don't use them with ing, so I understand, yes. I am understanding, no. I believe you, yes. I am believing you, no.
Mistake number 4 is using get when you mean understand and forgetting the negative. Learners sometimes say, I don't get it, which is correct, but they feel embarrassed. Don't be, I don't get it, is totally natural and native speakers say it all the time. It's not rude.
That's such a great point. I don't get it. I'm not sure I follow. I don't quite understand. These are all perfectly fine things to say. Never be afraid to say you don't understand. It's much better than pretending you do and then making mistakes later.
Mistakes are how we learn. Every person in this world who speaks English well made all these mistakes first. You are doing great just by listening and practicing. Now let's do a fun activity to put it all together.
All right, time for some practice. I'm going to give you 2 sentences for each situation. Your job is to choose the correct one. Ready? Say your answer out loud. Don't just think it, say it. Situation 1. You want to say that you received a text message. Option A. I got a message. Option B. I maked a message. Which one is correct?
The answer is A, I got a message. We use get for receiving things. We don't use make here because we didn't create the message. We received it. Make is for creating, get is for receiving.
Situation 2. You're inviting your friend to your house for lunch. Option A. Can you go to my house for lunch? Option B. Can you come to my house for lunch?
Option B is correct, come to my house, because you're at your house. When you're at the destination or moving towards where you are, we use come. Great job if you got that one.
Situation 3. Your colleague is explaining a new system and you understand. Option A. I am knowing the system. Option B. I know the system.
Option B, I know the system. Remember, know is a stative verb. We don't use it with the ing. Simple present is correct here, and it just sounds so much more natural.
Speaker 1. Situation 4. You want to say you did your homework. Option A. I made my homework. Option B. I did my homework.
Option B, I did my homework. This is the classic make versus do mistake. We do homework, not make homework. We do the dishes. We do our best. Keep this one in your memory.
Now here's your challenge. Create your own sentence using any of today's 10 words. Make it about your real life. What you did today, what you need, what you want, where you're going. Write it in the comments.
That's right. Don't worry about making it perfect. Real conversation is about communicating, not being perfect. A small, simple sentence is wonderful. The goal is to use the language, not to wait until you feel completely ready. You're ready now.
Wow, what a great episode. I'm really proud of everyone who stuck with us all the way to the end. Let's look at everything we covered today.
Today we learn the 10 most common English words for daily life. Number 1 through 3. Get for receiving and understanding, go for movement and events, make for creating and causing. Numbers 4 through 7. Know for information, think for opinions and mental action, need for necessity, want for desire. And numbers 8 through 10. See for vision and understanding, come for movement towards, give for transferring things and expressions.
These 10 words are your foundation. They are the building blocks of daily English conversation. When you know these words deeply, not just their basic meaning, but all their uses, you'll understand so much more of what you hear, and you'll sound so much more natural when you speak.
Here's something to reflect on. Which of these 10 words do you already use well? And which one do you want to practice more? Think about that and maybe make a little note to yourself.
And remember, if you enjoyed today's episode, please give us a like, share it with a friend who's learning English, leave us a comment with your practice sentence, and subscribe to Simple English Talks so you don't miss our next episode. Your support really means the world to us.
You are doing something really wonderful by learning English. Every episode you listen to, every sentence you practice, every comment you write, it all adds up. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate every small win and never stop. You've got this. And thanks so much for joining us today on Simple English Talks. We'll see you next time.